Welcome to Quantum Finance. My name is Parker. I am the head trader here, but I am not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. So in today's video, we're going to go over the economic data that came out. Then we'll look and do a general overview of the markets. After that, we'll take a look at the trading opportunities from today. And then we'll follow it up with some tweets and things to look forward to. So today on the economic data front, we had crude oil inventories, as you can see here, coming in worse than expected, rising 10th week in a row. We also had the US ISM manufacturing PMI index coming in worse than expected also. So now we're going to turn to the charts, starting here with the bond market and the 10-year yield. As you can see here, big green day for yields, breaking through that resistance that we've been stuck at for the last couple days, getting back up to that 4% mark, hitting a high of 4.01%, as you can see here on the weekly. Ever since we bounced off that lower channel, yields have just been basically going straight up here. We broke through this resistance here, came back, held it, and now we are continuing up higher, looking to test the upper part of this range. Turning to the dollar, we had a large red day here in the dollar, breaking below yesterday's lows, getting rejected kind of off of this midline here on the weekly chart. And you can also see on the daily the resistance we ran into, coming back down into that daily 20. Stocks, third red day in a row for the stock market here. As you see, the weekly, we did break the previous week's lows, coming down here and wicking off this lower band. Bitcoin, green day so far with Bitcoin. As you can see, this large wick rejection that came with the weakness in the stock market. But, we're still just kind of sitting here, consolidating in this range right at this daily 20. Turning to commodities, we have oil. Oil getting its second green day in a row, looking to break through the middle of the range to get a test of this upper band here. You can see the monthly starting off green after getting a bunch of wicks to the downside for the past couple of months. Turning to gold, we have gold for the third green day in a row here, coming back up to retest that daily 20 after bouncing off that monthly 20 in the middle of this range here. As you can see, the bands are coming in tighter. Nice strength here out of gold for the past couple days. Silver having its second green day, able to get through yesterday's high, but as you can see here, big wick rejection off that level. Much weaker than gold is. So now we're going to turn to the trades. First, we're going to look at the S&P 500. So we're starting here with the 15-minute. As you can see here, yesterday at the close, we broke through that 50. And like I said in yesterday's video, these 200 and 100 moving averages would be our next targets. And that's exactly what we got here. Gapping down, coming up for a retest of that level, getting rejected with the moving average to the downside. And we worked our way down to retest that daily 200. Bouncing, coming up midday, getting rejected here off of yesterday's lows, and then coming back down for a double bottom retest of the previous daily low. So let's take a look at the 5-minute here on the SPY. So there was a trade opportunity today in the SPY, or you could have used the futures to take advantage of this trade as well. But as you can see here, we had a squeeze right here at about 115. You can see the downward momentum we had also before the squeeze. And we also had the MACD cross to the downside. Let's zoom out a little bit here back to that chart we were just looking at. So yeah, you can see that's what this line is here. This is yesterday's lows that we rejected off of before we came back down for a retest. Turning to the 30-minute here, you can see what also helped with the rejection to go down to the retest is this 9 EMA here on the 30-minute. You can see how we kept rejecting. We wicked through it, but we kept rejecting here, showing a lot of weakness, and then we just got our trade line VWAP cross to the downside. You can also look up here at the 1 hour. We also got the same kind of move here, getting rejected at yesterday's lows with that 9 EMA coming in to reject it back down to the lower band, which you can see it was slightly higher than the previous lows. And we also have the same kind of action here on the 2 hour with this 1130 getting rejected off that 2 hour EMA. So we're going to zoom out a little bit more here to the daily chart. So on the daily chart here, yeah, you can see like we just load out right there at that wick. The monthly chart, we did not get a good monthly open, if you could see that here. Not a very good open on the monthly. We are opening below these moving average that are still crossed bearish to the downside. So you could have used put options here. I had these pulled up right here. I had the 395 strike put options, assuming your entry was in here during the squeeze. So the squeezers right here on these options, you can see they were priced at about, we'll call it 235, and these ended up making a high up here at about 306, making about a 30% move. So nice move on those contracts. Pretty good short trade here to take advantage of today's weakness. We also, if you look at the gap vol list here, we'll just look through this real quick. So we have Ford right here at the top of the list. You can see here it made a nice move up, or kind of sold off at the open, made a nice move up, getting rejected off the daily 50, consolidated, but we didn't really get the type of consolidation squeeze we were looking for to get any type of continuation. So we did avoid this. Bed Bath & Beyond, BBY, this actually was another good trade that we had today. So let's pull that up, take a look at that. So Bed Bath & Beyond here, you can see number 2 on the gap vol scanner. Had its rip up after the open, consolidated down, got its squeeze with upward momentum and a MACD cross here for the push to new all-time highs. So let's zoom out here on Bed Bath & Beyond. So as you can see here, like exactly what we like to see in stocks that we trade. The push up, we had the squeeze here, the consolidation, and we also had the trade line VWAP crossover coming in here to push it to highs, new highs of the day. This trade actually was not the most ideal because these bands were right here, but it was very strong, and I'm going to show you why here in a second. And I mean, we could just look at the 2 hour up here too. This stock is pretty garbage, as you can see, just getting wrecked and wrecked and wrecked. But the reason I liked this stock for a trade today was for this reason right here. If you look at the short percent, it's extremely high. I mean, I'm talking, this has probably got to be one of the highest in the entire stock market. We're talking 83% of the 114 million shares are short. So yeah, that's why I had confidence we could potentially get a little short squeeze here. But I would definitely keep an eye on this. Let's zoom out a little more to the daily chart. So yeah, to the daily chart, I mean, you saw how squeezed we were on the 2 hour. I mean, you see how far down we are. And you can see it does get massive green spikes. And we're extremely extended below this 20 moving average and this previous low right here, which are kind of lining up around this 204 to a $5 mark. So you could watch this stock for continuation because you can see how tight it is getting here on the 2 hour. And this is that level we have. So I would definitely keep an eye on this over the next couple days to see if this squeeze fires up to about this $2 mark. Going back to... Oh, let me show you the options for this. So the Bed Bath & Beyond, what was the trade price here? 1.5. So the Bed Bath & Beyond options, we were looking at the 1.5 strike call options, as you can see here. They did have a decent bit of volume, but as you're about to see, they look pretty ugly. Yeah, these look... The chart on them looks ugly. There wasn't a lot of room on this. But as you can see, there was a lot of volume, right? You could get filled on this, even though the chart looks disgusting. So if you got in... So you got in here, or here, or in here, anywhere. You're looking at, we'll call it 112, or we'll call it 12 cents. And that high up here was 19 cents. So that's a 63% move on those contracts, which is a very nice move. This is also a cheap stock. You could have just purchased the stock itself, but I mean, this move in hindsight is, 10 to 12 cents. So you would have to purchase a extremely large amount of shares to even profit anything from this. So we'll look at the rest of our scanners here. Really nothing. CDIO. This just kind of popped up super late out of nowhere. Didn't really watch this one today. But yeah, that's pretty much the only two stocks, or the only two trades that I liked today that had my squeeze trade line VWAP cross strategy that I liked. We had the SPY to the downside, and we had Bed Bath & Beyond to the upside. So yeah, that's it for the trades. So now we're going to turn to look at some tweets that I thought were interesting. We have XRP surpassing 4.6 million total wallets. Here we have a chart of home sales. As you can see, they are extremely low, the lowest it's been on this entire chart. Here is the Goldman Sachs Housing Affordability Index. As you can see, lowest on the chart. Housing is extremely unaffordable. Here's another real estate chart here showing the spread between home prices and rents. Right here we have interest rates by category. And below that, we have total debt by category. We also have news that the House of Representatives committee approves a bill giving Biden the authority to ban TikTok. So that will be interesting to see how the whole Chinese TikTok thing goes. Now this is an interesting chart here. We have the M2 year-over-year percent change at the lowest it's been since this chart goes back to the 60s. So I'll just let you take that as you will, because honestly I'm not really too sure what to make of that. And here we also have a chart of the U.S. credit card balances year-over-year percent change up here at 15.2%, as you can see, going back to the levels about 2001. And here we also have the auto loan rates hitting new records. New cars looking at 8.67% and used cars looking at 13.65%. So to wrap up the video, we'll take a look here at economic data drop that we have tomorrow. So it looks like tomorrow at 8:30 we are getting initial jobless claims. Well, I will talk to y'all tomorrow. Appreciate y'all watching the video.